Well, it was gossip central here in Berlin today. It was difficult to even go a few steps around the government district without hearing the words traffic light or Jamaica. And those are the names that are used here for the two coalitions that are mainly being talked about right now. You have the traffic light coalition that would be led by the Social Democrats with the colour red, and then the FDP, the Business Friendly Free Democrats, for yellow, and the Greens for the Greens. And then the Jamaica coalition, also named after the party's colours, that would be a Conservative-led coalition, also with the Free Democrats and the Greens. And interestingly, it seems that first of all we're going to see some talks between the Greens and the Free Democrats. As you said, it's those two parties who actually polled in third and fourth position in yesterday's election that could indeed become the kingmakers. And so it looks like those two parties are going to put their heads together first to try and figure out their differences and iron out some of the points of contention there, especially when it comes to finance, for example. The business-friendly Free Democrats are very much against the taxation of the wealthier here in Germany, something that the Greens and the SPD would like to see if they were in a traffic light coalition. But of course, at the same time, the Greens have got their concerns, especially when it comes to climate, if they were to join a coalition, a Conservative-led coalition, that so-called Jamaica coalition with the Conservatives and the Free Democrats. So at the moment, we have a very broad spectrum of players here, and like you say, it could be weeks, if not months, until we certainly find out what coalition government Germany is going to have. And then, of course, it will only be then that the German Parliament, the Bundestag, will be able to elect Germany's next chancellor and Angela Merkel's successor.
OK, Kate, thanks for that update. Kate Brady there. Whoever eventually replaces Angela Merkel as Chancellor will have a huge bearing on the EU's future political direction. For more on this, let's bring in our correspondent, Shona Murray, who's in Brussels for us. Shona, how's Brussels reacted to the results from Sunday's election?
Well, I think that many quarters here are breathing a sigh of relief that the centre has held, as expected, in German politics. And no matter what the makeup, and we heard there from Kate, it could be some time before we know the exact makeup of this new government. But I think MEPs and various members of the Commission and so on feel it will be a government that they can certainly work with. Definitely the question does arise, how influential will this new German government be? But I'm joined now by Sergej Lagodinsky, who's a German Green MEP. So first of all, for your own party, you did exceptionally well. As we heard also from Kate, it's either a traffic light or a Jamaican government. You're going into government. Do you think as a junior coalition partner you can make the impact that you want to do, or that you've promised voters you can do for the planet?
I think we don't have any other option. This is precisely why we ran this campaign. This is precisely why we want to go into government and take responsibility after 15 years of being out of power, out of the government. So for us, climate policy is something which is the cornerstone of any coalition agreement.
One thing that many Green parties across Europe run into when it comes to joining government is that they tend to be the junior coalition partner. So then they tend to come up with opposition from farmer groups and so on. And people are concerned that the cost of being Green will be too big to deal with. How will you manage that situation?
I think that's one of the recipes of the German Greens. That's why we could get so many votes this time, even though we had expected more. But we still are very happy and very proud of the results. We do not shy away from taking over responsibility, and we do govern in many cities. We do govern in Baden-Württemberg also as not a junior coalition partner, but as Prime Minister. So for us, it is instrumental to take responsibility and to deliver in being in power.